being
Yeah.
safe,
Yeah.
right? So,
Today's a Valentine's Day, so I think most of your people are enjoying with your loved ones. So I do perfectly
busy.
understand.
I'm sure with time also as we go on, we can keep sharing the link. I've spread it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll keep sharing it. So
Okay.
we're good to kick that. And sure, you want to your screen, so we'll give you the access. But the concept basically is you drive the car. And when we have a bus stop, we will tell you yeah, basically you are. So have any question along the line, we put in, and we encourage people to put their questions in the comment section then. So
Okay.
you just have to flow and tell us and inspires what you have what you
Mm-hmm.
have your sleeves, yeah.
Okay. Sound good.
This is your story, and that's it.
All right. Okay. Good. 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 All right. So, uh, I think you get to know me fully when my presentation is done. But for now, I'll just say I am God's servant, doing His work. That's it. That's me. All the rest of the accolades are there,
Awesome.
but this is who I am. I'm just serving God and then doing His assignment, right? So this is me. So somebody say, "Who are you?" I am just a God's servant doing His work. All right. So my Francis said, "Let me share your life story. Your life story." Eesh. Okay, I have a lot to share,
Please go
but
ahead.
it's I'll try as much as possible to chronicle my life journey, right? I'll do a little bit of presentation, some pictures, just pictures, right? But before I proceed, I just want to hasten to share about, I think, four principles, I call them four ingredients that drives me even before I start looking into my story, right? And
So I have
these
granted you the access to share your screen.
oh, okay, I'll share the screen shortly, but before that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So uh there are four principles. Maybe I can make it five. So these are ingredient that drives me, right? It drives me from the onset. Okay. Yeah. So don't worry, I'll tell you who I am as you go, right? This one I want to deviate from the traditional way of telling who you are and then introducing yourself. But I want to go by this way. Right. So this four principles. The first one is what? Purpose. Now, I am driven by purpose. Right. So I believe that everybody on this planet was was not born by an accident. You were all born, right, for a special assignment. Right. So if you are here, I know we are not many, but those of us who are here, right? If you are here and you are not living according to God's purpose, then you are not living. Okay. So the moment you discover who you are, what is the purpose, that is the point, that is the beginning of your life, right? Perhaps you may be doing what society says you should do. You may be doing you know, uh, what your father said you should do, or what the society says you should do. But if you are not doing according to what God says you do, you are deviating. So the first ingredient that drives me, even before I share who I am and the rest, is that I go by God's purpose, right? And what is purpose? Purpose is the original intent of your birth. Why, why, why you were created, right? So if I look at this pen, I hope you all can see this pen, right? What is the use of this pen? Tell me, who can tell me what is the use of this pen? Pen is used for what?
For
For
writing?
writing.
Right. I have been in academia for a very long time, so sometimes I don't worry, I can make use all students. So I'm asking several questions. So this is what this pen is used for what? Writing. I have a mobile phone here, which is used for making placing calls and the rest. I also have a mouse here, which is for navigating on the screen. right? So just imagine if all these animate objects, right, has a purpose. What about you, who were fearfully and wonderfully made? Now, a little bit about biology. You see, the scientists make understand that when a man and a woman, mate, right, they have sexual intercourse, there are millions of sperm that runs towards the egg, right? And out of that million sperms, God said, I want Francis. And Francis was given birth to. Do you think that God will choose Francis without a purpose? Right. So I'm just trying to drive your mind to the fact that your purpose, you're not born by an accident, right? And there's a purpose for everyone. And that is when the moment you discover your purpose, and that is where you will start living. So I discovered my purpose 18 years ago. I'll show it, I'll demonstrate it in the image that I'm going to show to you right now. So I discovered all this 18 years ago, and that is when I started living, right? And the purpose actually what drives me. Now, one may ask, okay, so this purpose that we've been talking about so much, what is it about, right? Now, everybody's purpose has already been made. Okay. So even before you were created, before this pen was created, there was a purpose. Before this phone was created, there was a purpose. Before this mouse was created, there was definitely a purpose. Right. So it means that before you came to this world, there was a purpose that was created for you. Right. And the onus lies on you to discover that purpose. Right. So who do you go to if you don't know your purpose? You go to God, right? So now God have given everybody the purpose. Now the onus lies on you to discover it. So usually during my undergrad and days that I used to do more of motivational speaking, I tell my audience that purpose is equal to what? Responsibility. Purpose is equal to, let's do a little bit of mathematics here. Purpose is equal to what? Responsibility. Now, when you look at the word responsibility, you can derive two words out of it. Response plus what? Ability. You see, there are two words from the responsibility. So when you respond to that ability, you are living according to your purpose. And that is what everybody must do. I don't know what kind of purpose you are having right now. So I may ask, are you responding to that ability in you? And that should be something you should be looking out for. You have to keep on looking for a purpose, keep searching until you find it. I always tell people that hey, everybody here owns everybody here owns a solution to a problem. So if I see anything on this planet Earth and then I realize that there's no solution yet, it tells me that there is somebody out there who has not discovered him or herself. Maybe Benjamin is a solution to a particular problem, but Benjamin hasn't discovered himself. Abigail has maybe another purpose that she hasn't discovered yet. But there is, maybe she owns that solution to that problem. So if there's any problem persisting, that means that there's somebody who has not discovered him or herself. So the question is what? What is your purpose? Discover it. Don't rest until you discover who you are. I have discovered who I am. So I drive smoothly. I drive in a haste. I am able to accelerate because I know who I am and I know where I'm coming from and I know where I'm going. And that's what my purpose tells me. Now, the next item that I want everybody to know that drives me, one is the purpose. Second is what's called vision. Right. No, even before vision, I go by time. Now, God have given everybody time. So at the end of today's session, my time on this earth has been reduced by 1 hour, by what? 1 hour, right? My time on this earth will be reduced by an hour when this session is done yet. So I don't waste my time at all. My every time counts, right? So if God have given me this amount of time on this earth, and you are wasting my time, you are wasting my life, right? So you need to pay attention to the time that will drive you, right, to achieve your purpose. but that your time is limited, right? Most of the time you end up procrastinating, right? You see, I always tell my students that, hey, today was once a future you dearly hope for. Make good use of it, right? Right. If it can be done today, do it because we don't have time. We are all living according to time. Go for it. Don't waste your life, your half of your life giving excuses because you wasted your time and spending the other half, no, telling us why you couldn't do it. You give excuse using half of your time and you use the other half telling us why you couldn't do it. So one thing that drives me is my time. Because my purpose is necessary. I must complete it before I leave on this earth. For me, I'm always happy because I came to this earth and I'll live with it without anything. So nothing bothers me. If I lose, I lose. If I gain, I gain. Right? So what anything I want to do, I just go ahead and do it. Even even if I want to be the president of Ghana, I write it down and I start dramatizing it, visualizing it. Hey, I want to be a president of Ghana because hey, I can do it. Or if I want to set up this business and nothing distracts me because I know if I lose, I gain nothing. I have lost anything. I have lost nothing. If I gain, that's it. So regardless of what I goes through, I don't lose hope because I knew that I didn't come to the earth with anything and I'll live with nothing. So I dream big. My mind is like somebody who is a child, right? A day born, a small child, right? Thinking about. I dream like anything. I dream big because I know that I didn't come to this earth. Anything I gather is bonus. So I dream big, right? With my time. Right. So the next item that drives me is what the vision. So I know my purpose, I know my time, and I know my vision. Vision is the mental picture of your desired future. Let me just repeat it. Vision is the mental picture of your desired future. So you know your purpose, you know the time that you must complete that purpose, and you have to have a vision to carry you there to the final destination. You don't have a vision, Bible makers understand that without vision, my people perish. Right? So I know over here, everybody here, by the end of this, take this take this session as a mentorship training, right? Don't just say I'm just coming for a session, coming to get motivated. No, get inspired and do something, right? So what is your vision and what is the size of your vision? Right. So I also understand that uh don't be scared about how big your vision may be. Don't be scared. For me, I think my vision is big. And guess what? We don't spend money on thinking big. So make sure that your vision is big because your purpose is also big, right? So don't forget about the fact that your vision may look so scary. And one thing I also that wants me to that if your vision doesn't scare you, that your vision is too small. So your vision must what scare you, right? If your vision doesn't scare you, then your vision is too small, right? So make your vision big, and when God make vision, He makes provision. So don't be scared. You want to set up a bank, go ahead and start dreaming about it. You want to be an MP, start embarking on it. Don't be scared. You want to be an entrepreneur, start working on it. I know that every entrepreneur is endowed with 24 hours. Maybe another time you have time to talk about entrepreneurship, right? Go for it. Think big. Make your vision big. Sometimes you may start local. Your vision may be global, but you may sometimes start local. And that's what I did. I started look. I have a global mindset, but I started local. So you can start local with a global mindset. Now, when I started local, when I was in Ghana, now I have moved to global. Now I meet several people. That is the vision. Now, purpose, time, vision. The next thing you have to consider is what money. Most of the Christians, as Christians, we think that money is only for those who in the world, in the world, right? The worldly people are those who must get money. Who told you that? God created us to be what? Rich. If we are princess and prince, right? That is God to God. We own it. So we don't have to let the money go to the worldly people. We must, endeavor to get money. And how to get the money? You need to respond to your purpose. And the moment you respond to your purpose, for me, anytime I begin to embark on any pieces of my purpose, I get money. Yes. So for me, I am getting richer and richer because I am responding to my purpose. Right. Right. So, and how do you do this? Your purpose must solve a problem. If you're a pastor, you should be able to counsel people. And when you counsel people, people will reward you financially. They will reward you in another form, right? If you're a teacher, teach well. Let the world know that you're a good teacher. People will reward you. They will advance you. If you're a teacher, don't think that you want to be a teacher. Rise to become a vice chancellor, right? And that's where you can get big money. You are working as a susu, maybe you're working with a maybe microfinance company. One day, as you are working for this microfinance company, think about the fact that I will one day also become a bank, a CEO of a bank or a bank owner, right? That should be your mindset, right? And that's where money comes from. So I define money as the reward one receives after solving problem. And how do you solve that problem? That problem lies within your purpose. You have to discover it, right? So if you are still not getting money, it means that you have not fully discovered your purpose. But you must do that before you can get to that level, right? Your purpose is big, it's inelastic. So you need to respond to your purpose, right? Then the last one is for your talent. Your talents move around your purpose. Okay. You see, the Bible makes us understand that the Bible didn't say your education will bring you before great men. Your certificate will bring you before great men. By what? Your talent. You must respond to your talent. Forget about your school and respond to your talent. You see, when you respond to your talent, the world will not only make the world will not only make room for you, but the world will also what, pay for it. All that. So your purpose, your time, your vision, your money, and your talent all works together to make who I am right now. So these are the five, four, five ingredients, four ingredients that drives me. I will never lack because of my purpose. When my time is up, I'll die peacefully because I'm living according to my purpose. What about you? Are you living according to your purpose? So this is just by the way. Now let's kick start. All right. So trying to share my life journey to see how we can help us. So yeah, so this is me, right, at this point of my life. Okay. The hand that you see here it depicts a whole lot of things. Okay. This word, yes, you can, was bet sometime I think 16 years ago when I was in senior high school, right? That was when the word yes, you can was bet. And this particular word, these three words is so powerful to the fact that, you have no idea how much these three words have done for me. Now, uh, that's 16 years ago. Those days when I was senior high school, uh, business class at the corner, I remember right as if it was yesterday that in that corner when I was sitting doing my accounting work, trying to balance my equation wasn't balancing. Right, that was when I discovered the word yes, you can. 16 years ago, right? So at that moment, I heard the word yes, you can. And yes, you can gives me two friends. So there are two friends that I always work with. One is what? Yes, you can. The other one is what? No, you can. So let's put it this way. You can and you can, right? So whenever I'm about to do anything, these two words come into my mind. You can and you cannot. You can and you cannot. Now, this is what I do. I listen to both sides of the story because I must be a good judge. I listen to both sides of the story. Why I cannot, and then why I can. And guess what? This is what I do. I focus on the reasons why I can. Oh, first, it's usually the negative aspect comes first. You see, when you start, you will fail. If you do it, they will laugh at you. Nobody will like it. If you post, people will not even like it. This journey, you will fail. This school, I don't think you can pass. This company, when you do it, it will fail. Then it will speak so loud to my hearing that, hey, you cannot do it. Then at the same time, the positive side, the affirmative, says, you can do it. I think you can try it. Just keep trying it. Just try and let's see. So what I do is that I pay attention to that voice that tells me that you can. Okay. And the minute I discovered that I came out to the determination that I must always go with the what I can, I just became unstoppable. Right. So whenever you see this my hand, it depends that no matter what, I will always become unstoppable. Right? We will become unstoppable. I know for sure that the world, the road to every dreamland is full of potholes, is full of, it must look like under constructions, is so rough. It's not going to be rosy. But the moment I raise my hand and I say that, yes, I can, there's a kind of some feeling, some power that drives me. Then I start going. And no matter what, anytime I try it, sometimes it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, I call it what? Experiment. I don't call it a failure. Guess what? Because I need to experiment it and then find out, way that it can work. So me, I have never failed before. I have never been sad that this thing doesn't work. If it doesn't work, I call it experiment. If it works, then my experiment has come to pass. I have gotten the positive results. Okay. So that word, yes, you can, is what drives me. And this same yes, you can, I have developed a book out of it. I have built companies and other stuff, which I'll be showing it to you in a jiffy. All right. So when I discovered myself 16 years ago, this is me at the age of 18 years. At the age of 18 years, I launched my first book when I was in senior high school. I was the first person to launch a book whilst in school. So this is me one Sunday morning advertising my book. I sold 2,000 copies of this book, all because of the word, yes, you can. At that time, I had several reasons to give up. You know what? You see, sometimes when God give you vision and you don't utilize it at that particular point in time, and say that, oh, when I get to this stage, I will do it. When I get to that stage, I will do it. You are not going to fulfill it. You may lose it forever. Your destiny may be altered. You may lose it, right? So it is imperative that when God deposits something to you, at that time, you must respond to it. Okay. So I didn't have money to launch the book, right? I didn't have so much, right? My teachers were telling me that when I was done with the manuscripts, I sent it to my teachers to review for me. Yes, they did it. What do you want to do? This, oh, I want to publish a book. At that time, I was preparing for WASI. At the same time, God tells me that this book must be launched because it must fulfill a purpose. People must read to be inspired. So, and I don't, because of time, I won't go much into details. Maybe another time. But you realize that at the end of the day, those teachers about I consulted seven of them. Six of them said, it's not time. This is not the time. When you get to the university, you can write a book. Or when you're done with school, you can write a book. And the last person, we call him Mr. Expensive, he said, this is wonderful. How can I help you? You see the reason why. So the negative part and the positive part. And I have already developed the fact that I will always go by the positive side. So just one person who confirmed that you can still publish it at this time. I'll give you this amount of money to support you. Guess what? You see, when I decided to follow just one person, I got this book, this book published at that time. 2,000 copies of this book sold, and it spread throughout, Eastern region, Central region, Greater Accra, to all the secondary schools. It was so marvelous at that age. So when the book was launched, and when anytime they see me, it's like, wow, this guy carries something special, right? And then even when I was even going to the publisher, I was so tiny at that time. I called the publisher, hey, I have a manuscript I want to publish. And I got to the publisher, and the publisher, when I unlocked the door and the secretary opened the door, the man said, I'm expecting a gentleman who want to publish a book. I don't think you, this small boy, you are the one. Then I laugh, I said, oh, I think, I don't think you're expecting anyone. I'm the one, right? And the man looked at me, he said, you know what? I'm just inspired. I'm going to charge you this amount, but I'll divide it and give and pay half for you just because of the fact that you have decided to do this at this age. You see how God can do things. I didn't have money, but because of the inspiration behind my vim, they call it vim, right? Vim, like the vigor, right? I did it, and the guy paid it for me, half of me. I got some funds from other places. Even my parents were scared that, hey, you're going to write Kwasi. What is this all book for? They didn't understand the mandate I was carrying at that time. Later on, they come for the book launch and they also share their testimony. How they nearly, discouraged me because of the fear that I must concentrate on my Wasi. Right. And guess what? They later understood where the angle I was coming from. So this is just to tell you that no matter what, no matter your start from where you are, what you have. Don't be scared. Go for it. If that's what God said you should do it. Don't be don't waste time. Do it. So I launched this book, I got my name, and guess what? After launching this book, that is where I got my first capital. I had started with nothing. That's why I always tell people that hey, start from where you are with what you have. Start small with a bigger picture in mind. So I started with nothing and I gained huge amount of money. So at that age, I had nothing. I have nothing. But after I respond to that ability, published that book, sold it to several students, they got inspired. I was invited to speak on several occasions. I got money for every time I speak. And then I also got, financial reward. And that was when I got my first capital. And when I got my first capital, then right after school, this is senior high graduate, right? High school graduate. The money I had, you know what I did? I bought a container, then I set up my own business. So this is where I became an entrepreneur, right? At the age of 19. 19 years, I was owning my own business at the age of 19, and people were working for me. And there's a story behind this. Because of time, let me just give you a gist of it. This screen that you are seeing, this was almost, I think, 14 years ago. This screen you are seeing here were all bought one after the other. I started with just printer, one printer, and then one Pentium 4 computer. Look at those days. See how Pentium 4 is so slow, so slow. And I started with that machine, right? Then I started, getting them one after the other. People were insulting me. You have opened a container, you don't have money, right? I don't have all the money I had at that time could purchase the container, one printer, and one slow Pentium 3 computer. That's the only thing I could do. I could purchase. And that's it. And guess what? I started doing my printing time. So I was typing people script, people, assignment, people script, you know, and then all that, and then I was getting money small, small, small. And then anytime, so I was fortunate to be in the IT environment. So they taught me Excel, they taught me what they call it, database, I learned programming and I learned some kind of, some scripting and all that, right? Then I began to do computer classes. Then people were just, that was when I started to get more money. Computer classes, doing typing. I added, photocopy machine, right? And then later on, I turned into a computer training center. At the point, I added some internet cafe, internet services to it. And guess what? When I got to level 200, right? And then I started the business. I mean, it was tough, rough. By the time I got to level 400, right? The business was well established, fully established. And then, do you know one amazing thing? When I was level 200 and I need to study, I was still in the University of Ghana with Francis. Francis those days, when Francis was also in Radio Universe, making us, feeling good on the radio. I was making money. Okay. And my first employee was KNUSC graduate. Whilst I was level 200 with a scratch before I got to level 400. Level 200, the person who worked for me was a KNUSC graduate too, looking for a job. So I created the job and I had time to study, right? And then the person was working for me. Then back to back. Then small, small, I was buying a computer, small, small. When I get money, I do plow back profit. Then I buy another one. Meanwhile, I wasn't even working so hard. Somebody was working for me. That is the smartness of entrepreneurship. Create a job and people work for you. Right? That's the difference of entrepreneurship. You see, you don't always work for people. Don't always work for money. Let money work for me. Anyway, I'm the type who subscribe to the teachings of Robert Kiyosaki. Don't work for money. Let money work for you. I read a lot, and those also inspires me. Okay, so I did this, and I got the money, and guess what? From that time, I never lack. I never lack money. I was getting money all the time, all the time. There's so much about this entrepreneurship. Maybe another time, but there's so much story about it. But because of time, I can't speak much about it. So I started with just one computer, and ended up having about 14 computer at that time. Those days, at that time, and with photocopy machines and several other stuff. So that is the entrepreneur side of me, right? Then about the what do you call it? You see, the book launching didn't end in senior high school. When I got to high what do you call it?
Yuji.
Undergrad level two, Eugene, yeah, University of Ghana. Yeah, I continue with the inspiring. So I call myself inspirer. So I was inspiring and all that. So I launched another heavy book. That book this one it went global, right? I saw some in the US at that time, saw some in Germany, saw some in France, right? UK, it went global and a whole lot of people, bought this book. It has 50, it's still on Amazon. If you type the title, you see it on Amazon. You can read it. You can read the synopsis of it. What I wish I knew before my graduation. So people, when I hold programs, so as part of my mandate, I hold programs. So that was me years ago, right? And when I hold program, move to people chased after me to come and listen to me those days, right? And it was so amazing. And this is all part of the calling through publishing and setting up businesses, right? Yeah. So that is when I set up my own business. So that's the business. What do you call this? Is the inspiration aspect, the program, and all that. That's not the end. I also set up an organization called Generational Thinkers International. So whilst we inspire people on campus, we also go to orphanage homes to give to the people, and that's also part of my mandate, right? So we go to uh, this orphanage homes, we inspire the kids, we donate, and guess what? This is 2014, somewhere that was 2014 when I was in level 200 or so, I think, or 300, yeah. And guess what? I started this organization Even this guy was part. This guy who is now MP, uh, the one youngest, Edem. Edem was
Adam
part of my
Nabana.
yes. Edem was part of my organization. He used to come. Even my book launch, he was there. McDad, all these people were there, and these are all my friends. And some of them were in level 400. But I was when I started, I was in level 200, and people in level 400 bought the idea. They didn't say that, hey, you're in level 400, what do you know? Where you level 20, what do you know? They didn't look at my level or my age, but they look at the impact I was bringing on board, the what I was carrying, right? Yeah, so I was doing all these at the same time as a CEO, at the same time, schooling, right? Going to senior high schools, other universities, just to talk to them. And then guess what? Anytime I speak to people, that is where I get my satisfaction from. So nothing gets me satisfied than what? Telling people or inspiring others and giving smile to the people, less privileged people. Okay. So that is the other part of it. So after school, I did so much when I was in senior high, when I was in during my bachelor degree level or my undergrad level, I did so much. Then guess what? When I was about to graduate, I was like, shit, I think I am not done with what I'm supposed to do for these students. What can I do? And God told me, like, hey, maybe you can become a lecturer, right? And then have the opportunity to speak to the people. And guess what? I stayed back in the department and I became a TA, a normal TA, right? And guess what? I when I started with the TA ship, then I did my MPhil because I want to be a lecturer. And for me, anything I want to do, I must do it. On no matter what, it must come to pass. Okay. I started with this, this, what do you call it, this TA 10s, right? Teaching small, small. Then by then I was having money. So doing my master wasn't any big deal. I just bought form and then I did my MA, then I did my MPhil. The minute the minute I completed, guess what? I was a valedictorian. And the department saw like, hey, this is somebody we can utilize. This is an asset. I didn't even rush. They said, I think we need you. Guess what? They say, hey, go and bring your CV. The minute when I was done with my MPhil, they said, bring your CV. And they brought my CV, and then they helped me with the application. It was even too late. They sent the vice chancellor and all those stakeholders who must approve. It went through smoothly, protocol like smoothly because they needed me at that time, and I responded to it. So when I became a TA, I quickly moved to became a lecturer. So this is me. Uh, you know, uh, I've forgotten my Eugene. What's the name? What's the name of this hall? I've
Father,
forgotten. What's the name of this hall? I've forgotten.
which of the has a couple?
No, no,
Anyway, so
no hall. Lecture hall. Lecture hall. I
uh,
forgot.
uh
This is not NNB. The one at Red University. What's the name? Forgotten.
oh
JQB.
J,
JQB.
JQB. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that's JQB.
yeah. That's JQB.
I
Right. So
see.
this is JQB. I was a lecturer for automation class because I was the
Oh,
IT,
okay.
I was the IT
Okay.
guy. So I was a lecturer for the automation class. Computer programming, information technology, and interaction to computing. So I was teaching about three courses. So this is when I was teaching my level 400. At that time I was the youngest, right? Don't allow age to limit your vision. Don't allow age or where you're coming from, right? Your background may be on the ground, but it shouldn't keep you on the ground. No matter what, it must come to pass. That is me. No matter what, whatever our paths to make the vision happen, it must happen. So this is me when I was teaching my student. I was the youngest at that time, per the University of Ghana record. I was the youngest lecturer at that time, right? Handling three heavy courses: telecommunication, programming, and then introduction to computing, right? So this is my small office. Students come to me in my office. And this is when, so my classes are very unique because I make it very practical. So students have to present depicting the industrial image in the classroom, right? And then I critique and then I shape them because they might think critically and solve problems, right? So my style of teaching was exceptional, was unique, and out of the many, right? So this is me in my office at the University of Ghana, right? Smart, focus, and all that. And this is another class, and all that. So this is my lecturing time, And one story about this is that when I was one day when I was going to print my programming questions, I went to the printing center. The minute the man saw me, hey, hey, gentleman, small boy, hold on. Do you know that TAs are not allowed in this Venice vicinity? Then I laugh, I smile. Gentlemen, I said TAs are not allowed in this place. I said, oh, sorry, I am the lecturer. I said, eh, really? And then he apologized. That was when that reminds me that when God gives you vision, he makes provision. No matter how small you are, if God gives you vision, he will make provision. So he was amazed that, hey, small boy lecturer. That's how they tend to call me. Anytime I want to print my questions, they call me small boy lecturer, and all that. Yeah, I was small, I was little, if I put it that way, but I didn't allow that smallness to belittle me. My vision must always arrive or maybe outshadow how small I am. I don't allow age to dictate what I should do. Right. So that is my uh, teaching aspect as well. Then I moved to the US. US to anywhere, any place I go, I make sure that I do something exceptional. Right. So this is somewhere in Wisconsin. Right. There was this position that was open as a senator who will be handling student issues in the Wisconsin community. Right. I look at myself, look at my accent, look at where I'm coming from. Anyway, I qualified at that time. I mean, my journey in the US too is another story, which I can. So this is just a half of it. I apply for this position. People endorse it. Right. My accent wasn't good, but guess what? I vied for this position. I went to the pool, and guess what? I emerged victorious. I saw so many discouragements, so many things that to say, hey, you can't do it. I say, hey, as far as I qualify, it must come to pass. So I became a senator representing students, right, on several occasions, helping them with great policies. And guess what? At the end of my, throughout, I was given the most outspoken award as the most outspoken senator of the year. This is when they were presenting it to me, right? Because me, when God give me mandate, I don't joke at all. I do it to my fullest. I just do it to the fullest. I do it with all my might. I do it as if tomorrow will never come. I do it as if today's my last day. So anything I'm doing, look at it the fact that if today is my last day on earth, will I be doing this I'm about to do? And how will I do it? So if I don't care whether I'll see tomorrow. When I'm given the mandate, I make sure that this is the vision, this is the work. It if it must be done, it must be done well. If best can be achieved, then good is not enough. If best can be achieved, then good is not enough. So I emerged one of the best senator at that time and got award, sometime money, and several other stuff. So I worked. Now, then I this is my PhD time. Okay, the PhD too. I was started with several challenges, right? And guess what? I was the only one during my time who graduated. And guess what? I graduated with distinction. Several difficulties, several challenges. For me, I believe that when there's difficulties, there's also what opportunities. So usually opportunities present themselves in difficulties. that people will mostly run away from. Okay, so that is me, regardless. At that time, I think nobody should have graduated, but I say, hey, I must graduate, and I emerge as the best thesis, right? With the best thesis, the best graduating student. Don't forget that I was a valedictorian at that time. Those my Eugene time, and here too, I was the best student. PhD. Look at the thesis I wrote. Almost over 500 pages of a thesis, right? And I became victorious. Sometimes life may throw a lot of things at you. Sometimes you may fall, but I always tell my people that, hey, anytime you fall, make sure you keep your eyes up. Because when you fall, you rise up again. When you bounce back, I don't care about the problem that will face. I don't care about the problem that you'll be faced with. I don't care about the difficulties that you'll be going through. What I care most about is how you bounce back after falling. That's what I'm interested in. Yeah, so this is me, my early days in the US and my current days in the US. Just look at the difference. Here I smile with full of dreams, and here I am fulfilling the dream, right? And all that. And after my PhD, there are several stories of me after my PhD and blah 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 story applying for jobs and all that. Yeah, even though I taught in several schools in the US, I navigated to the corporate world and became what senior cybersecurity and compliance analyst. Senior. When the word senior is attached to your name, you can imagine how much you'll be earning at the end of each month. I won't say I am poor. I mean, I'll say that God have blessed me, right? All because I respond to His purpose. What I said initially, right? So, if you are the type who go by smartness, if you're the type who go by little, you can't move with me. I will leave you behind because I know for sure I don't pay for thinking. So always I think big, 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 extremely big, right? And that's not the end. And this is the first house, okay, in the US, right? And this is the one currently bought, right? I think this one I'll make a post out of it to inspire others, right? Somebody with nothing, started with nothing, but now I have a lot. I haven't been long in the US. People who have been here for many years. What I have done, they have not been done just 0.5%, right? Two house, and this one will be for rent. If you want to rent a house, I have a house for you. You can rent. You can now call me a landlord. I'll give you a place to sleep. All because I responded to God's purpose, right? So all I want to tell you is that hey, no matter what you're going through, make your vision big, make your vision heavy, make your vision, if your vision doesn't scare you. For me, all my visions scare me. So I try to get so much. If your vision doesn't scare you, that vision is too small. So make sure your vision, scare you. If your vision scare you, then you can work with me. Otherwise, I'll leave you behind because time. God have given me time. I'm on this earth, on this planet for time, on time. Time is limited. I must utilize that time. I must utilize that time. And before I end, don't also forget that that's not the end of the testimony. Another thing is that apart from working for one of the top company in the US, earning huge, I also established a company. And guess what? The name of that company is called Yes You Can Cyber Secure LLC. So that word Yes You Can, it radiates in me. It is doing wonders, right? And so far I've trained almost if I count almost 300 plus globally. And there's another training coming up this month, I think next week, right? So this certificate of what formulation, I do things by, going by the standard. You need to get satisfied to run the program, right? So this is a program I run in addition to my work as I do, right? And this is a certificate of incorporation. Okay. And I don't think there's time, so I won't waste my time. But this is the package of the program I run in addition to my senior job I do, right? So I run this program. So if you're in the US, okay, and people will be doing manual job, warehouse job, cleaning jobs, I'm trying to change the narrative. When I got to that space, I said, no, let me not just hide this. Well, I could have gotten another job to pay me so much. Let me spend the rest of the time training people to get to the same space I am. Because I cannot be say I want to be the one who is getting richer and richer and the rest are left behind. That's why I set up this company and I train people. I train with passion. I train them with skills, hands-on. And now a lot of people are getting job and they get six-figure job. I'm telling you, it is not a joke. The reality is there, right? So well, I know that one day I might not be here. So when I'm gone, I might leave a legacy. People must also enjoy the same thing and all that. So that is the company I am running right now. And anybody here, if you want to navigate into cybersecurity, I'll be the best person to help you out. So anybody here who want to go into that space, I can help you. Now, I know I've spent my time, but all what I want to let you know that, as you're navigating through your life, always remember to think big. Because thinking big does not cost. One, second, make sure you take risks. One man said, it is risky to fail to take risks. Always endeavor to take risks. If you don't, if you fail, it will never happen. But if you keep trying, it will definitely happen. If you fail, don't call it if it doesn't work, don't call it a failure. Call it experiment. Because you must experiment it once again to get it done. All the invention on this earth came out of experiments. So if that doesn't work, if something doesn't work for you, don't call it a failure. Call it what? An experiment. And keep experimenting until you find the right way. Last but not the least is read a lot. I read a lot. Read. Read books. Read books, motivational books, inspiring books. If a company that you are setting, read those who are around that company, their books. If it's IC, read those books. If you want to be a great church, overseer, read books. Or the poor and the red, read their books. Pastor Chris, read their books. Read those who are above you. Right. Yes. For multiple for in the multitude of as a Christian, I don't have to forget this statement. In the multitude of counsel, there's a safety. So make sure you seek counsel, but read. So something that will take you, let's say, 8, 10 years to a lesson that will take you like 10 years. When you read a chapter of that book, within, let's say, 10 minutes, you unlock that lessons. So don't forget to read. Reading expand your thinking pattern and expand your thinking capacity, right? Then the last one is what? Don't forget the God factor. Read your Bible. That is the manual. All what I'm doing, the manual, the last book, the ultimate book, the superfluous book, the mega book is what's called the Bible. That is the manual. So I know for sure that when God created me, He gave me a manual. So whenever I face an issue, I visit the manual. My original intent while I was born, I read the Bible. The Bible will give you more insights when things go rough. It will inspire you to keep going no matter what. As I end, my dear people, always don't forget to ask, what can you do? When you live on this earth, what will be the legacy you leave behind? That is what matters. Thank you, Francis, for giving me such opportunity to share this is a synopsis of my life story. Thank you.
Great, great, great story and inspiring one at that. Thank you so much, Dr. Noah Adjei, for taking time to for us. I wish that we had this Zoom platform filled with about thousands of people especially those within our age range. Usually, I like it when we're talking to ourselves, like I told you a few days ago. I like it if we inspire ourselves, and that's one of the reasons I wanted you to jump on this and talk to us. And your story indeed is inspiring. I've learned a couple of things, and I want to give room for people on the platform. If you have any question, anything you want to ask Dr. Noah, just in the next 5 minutes. We really um, had a difficult time starting, and then we have to close early too. So if you have any question, if you have anything to ask, you can do that in the next 5 minutes, probably, and then we will call it a day. But I can promise you that we'll bring Dr. Noah back another time, and then we'll delve deeper into the things of delve deeper. We'll dig into his background, dig into his family, dig into his faith journey. He's told us so many things today, and we are we are interested in knowing more. We are inspired, and one of the things that I am taking along with me is the fact that it doesn't cost big effort or buying data, you're buying network or buying something. You pay, but if you're thinking you don't have to pay, so yeah, liberty to think big. Think big. It doesn't cost. So if your background is low, if your background is down, don't allow it to keep you down. Yes, you might be from a very poor, a very unfortunate background, but do not allow that to keep you in misfortune. And for me, some of these things, there are a lot of them. I'll put all of them, we'll put them as a quote and we'll share them on social platforms. And then the video as well, we'll upload it on the YouTube channel of this is my story, this is my song. Anybody on the platform have a question, you can put it up and then uh, he may answer them and we can end today. But happy Valentine's Day to everybody on platform. It's good to have all of you on the platform. We hope that we had the Zoom meeting filled with. I probably think that because we couldn't start exactly at the time we wanted to, that might have affected the patronage as well. But we believe that at least the stories he has shared with us in the last 1 hour, I'm sure they are inspiring, they are compelling, they are stories that deny you any kind of excuse that you have in life. You say, I can't do this, I cannot go this far, I didn't do this because of that. No way. You have no excuse. You got to get up and do something. Nobody has a question. I have a lot of questions, so but I don't want to start. I want to bring him back too. Because if I start asking the questions, we're likely to close next year. So, any advice for international students? Okay. Doc, there's a question from I think Emmanuel. Any advice for international students?
Okay, so yeah, so international students, yep. I know things things are changing, especially when there's change of government and all that. Yeah. So if you're international students, what I would like to let you know that I have a plan. Okay. So if you're international students, to me, I see you as somebody who has several opportunities. Okay. So you have to decide whether you want to remain here in the US, you want to just get your degree and go back home. That should be your plan, right? So everybody's story is different. So let me take one side. Let's say, for instance, I know majority of you would like to stay in the US, right? So as international students, of course, you have to make sure that you are getting your good grade, okay? And then you are graduating on time, right? And before that, what I would recommend is that the fact that make sure, right? Let's say, for instance, you want a green card, you want maybe work authorization, right? The US will assess you to see how they can benefit from you, right? So that's why you can do what called self-petitioning. Okay, self-petitioning is that you have to let the US know what you can you can offer to the country. Okay. So before you graduate, do more of internship. Okay. Connect, have a network, because I know for sure that your network will determine your net worth. Right. So on LinkedIn, try to connect people, because before you graduate, you should have companies, bosses, CEOs as your friends. They are the same people who will give you a job and at the same time help you with your, what do you call it, uh, with your papers. Do you get it? So if you're not doing the self petitioning, a company can help you get a green card, and that's all about your connection, right? And what you can do. Okay, so do more of internship, have more practical styles on your resume, right? At the end of the day, if you're a student and you're not getting a job, right, and you want to do the self petitioning, you can come to me. Since you are here, I can guide you for free, right, to do your self petitioning, and then I can give you a sweet recommendation letter. I've given something to other people, and they've gotten their card, right? So I can, if you want to go by that route, I can help you out. But before you come to me, you must make sure that you're well prepared. You have the package, okay? And then also sometimes if you are doing your masters, they'll ask you, do you want to do a capstone project or want to do thesis? I always encourage people that if you really want to do the self-petitioning, then go for thesis, right? If you want a company to hire you and potentially help you with your what do you call it, with your people, other stuff, then you can go for a capstone, right? Because in the self-petitioning, they want to see if you have done publication before, which journals, so if you are publishing top journals. Okay, it's one of the criteria they can use to select you, right? So look at all the both sides. If you want to go by the corporate, if you want to go by the self-petitioning, that's also fine and all that. But at the end of the day, everybody has their own story. Another way to is that anytime a student asks me what is advice for the next student, or is that they want to stay back. So another thing you can also do is that maybe if you haven't promised anybody, somebody can marry you and make you smooth for you, and then you can also get your card, right? And then make sure you don't run into any trouble. Your social security is linked to everything that you are doing on this in on I don't want to say on this earth, in this country,
This
right?
one.
Your social security is linked. So don't drive drive, go according to all the instructions, right? Make sure you don't drink and drive. Make sure you carry your driver licenses. Don't drive without your driver licenses. Like somebody will say, as a student, right? Just don't. I mean, be clean. When you are clean, later on you want to go for petition and other stuff. You make life easy. You don't need any lawyer. You don't need anything, right? And as a student, too, don't go out of status. No matter what, you must be in school, right? Otherwise, somebody want to marry you or you want to sell petition whatsoever, you have defaulted, and it's not going to be. You can overcome it, but why don't you go by the right way and then get there smoothly? Yeah. So to me, these are the things that you have to have a plan. You have to know the end goal, right? And then know the route. So I'm giving you three routes. What you want to hear? Self petitioning. A company can help you out. Somebody can marry you. So these are the three things to help you stay here in the US. I know some of you, that's your own. I mean, it's not bad, so that I can send money back home and change some of the narrative, right? I understand. So, yeah. But if you want more personal, tips, maybe I'll leave my number over there. You can call me. I'll just chat and see how best I can help you. Right. Yep.
Thank you so much, Dr. Noah, for
Mm,
this uh, advice. It's very, very important, very relevant, and very timely as well. Because at the time when people are trying to pursue their views, their lives, and change of
mm,
government, change of policy, and people are living in uncertainty and all of that. Thank you so
yeah.
much for that. like I said, we'll bring you back. Let me say that. So the concept of how we run it is that we try to do it once a month, but because we were off for some time when we returned, we decided to do 2 times this month.
Okay.
So we're going back to once a month. So hopefully in the coming months before the year end, definitely we'll try to bring you back and then we'll delve
No
deeper.
problem. No
And also,
problem. No problem.
we want to appreciate you for making time. And I can say that my wife is a graduate from Yes You Can cybersecurity.
I was confused. I didn't know that she was the one. Oh. I saw the link in the page. Is that the same big girl I've been talking to?
Yes,
That he had been doing so she had been doing this marvelous assignments projects, and she had been worrying me. So I saw this on the page. Like, this is the same big girl.
thank you so much for
Hey,
imparting.
Francis,
We
you are blessed.
we really appreciate you for being not just being
Mm,
you, but also being what, a reservoir that you're pouring into other people. And for us, we really appreciate that, and we want to see
yeah.
more of that. And whatever we can do to doing the
Yeah.
public, get people
Mm,
to jump on board,
awesome.
we'll try our best.
Mm,
And we have some other conversation that I told you we'll do about that one is also in the pipelines. We are almost done, and that's also going to be another platform where we can put, put out our voice out there for
mm,
uh,
mm,
others to also hear that people are making it and they can make it. And then also there are things we can do to things done at the right, in the right way.
awesome. Awesome.
You
Awesome.
and thank
Awesome.
you everybody for making time. We really apologize for starting late and also closing, but we had no other option but to bring this your way. It's the Valentine's edition of My Story. This is my song, and I'm Francis. I'm just sitting in for your regular Java. She's Abigail platform because we had to somewhere we are actually in a different place where we retreat, and so we had some late in the transit. But thank God for Dr. Noah's patience for us and coming through for us. Thank you so much. I see Lady Reverend. That is my wife's sister. That is yeah, a special last one.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
Happy, God bless you so much, Benjamin Darlington Adjei. Thank you so much for being on us. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Noah. And we'll keep having this conversation. It doesn't end here. Let's keep it until our
Yep.
good become our better and our better become.
And thanks for having me.
The pleasure is ours. The pleasure is
Hmm. Yep.
all right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Have a good weekend and enjoy the rest of the Valentine.
Okay.
Um, what-
See what the Lord has done. Can you see what the Lord has done? What we waited for has come to pass. See what the Lord has done. On your wedding day, you're gonna sing that. Can you see what the Lord has done? When you walk into that property, can you see what the Lord has? When that healing happens, what we've been praying for, He has brought to pass. See what the Lord If I were you, I'll sing it to someone. I'll just sing it to someone. Say, sing.